وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين أما بعد. We are talking about akhlaq-e-Islami, and our focus is on Islamic values. We are familiar with the works on Christian values, the Jews' values, or the Jewish values. There are books available in market, and normally scholars, teachers, and activists do refer to those Jewish Christian values. And it is always a question that if we have a set of Jewish values and if we have a set of Christian values, then do we have any Muslim values? And if we have those Muslim values, then we need to introduce those Muslim values in this society where our children, our youth, our working men and women at their workplaces can also can introduce those Muslim values. And matter of fact, as you will realize at the end of this discussion, that Islamic values are actually the best possible human values if we really look into it. They are a very comprehensive set of values, and without any exaggeration or without any extremism, basically Islam is a religion of moderation. Islam is a religion, a deen-e-wasat. We will talk about that. One of the greatest values of Islam is moderation, a balance. Islam introduced a balance when the previous both religions, the Judaism and the Christianity, had gone to two totally different extremes. Their relationship with God or with the humanity or with the society, both previous communities had gone to some extremes and they had lost the balance. While Islam brought back that balance, and that is why Islam is a deen-e-wasat, a deen of moderation, and maintains a very beautiful balance between the spirituality and the materialism, between individualism and the social interactions, between individual and family, between business and spiritual environment. So in every area we see Islam maintains a very beautiful balance. Islam doesn't want to see people abandoning the world or worldly life. Islam doesn't want to see people abandoning their families or their businesses or their works. And Islam doesn't want to see people as monks. At the same time, Islam doesn't want to see people all just focused on materialism and only on the luxuries of life and only the materialistic aspects of life and abandoning the spirit and the spiritual needs and the intellectual needs and the needs which are about hereafter. So it's a religion of balance, it's a religion of moderation. And that is why it will be a great contribution if we can introduce to this society the Islamic values, if we can put these Islamic values in proper terminology, in a proper perspective, and if we can explain these Islamic values to our neighbors, to our co-workers, to our friends sometime in, and it shouldn't be in a way that we are trying to convert them or we are trying to preach them, because we don't want to become Tablighi Jamaat or Jehovah Witnesses. So then that is counterproductive. So it should be a friendly dialogue, a friendly discussion, and in a very appropriate way. I have very limited kind of interaction with non-Muslim Americans, but in my own personal interaction, whichever I have little bit, whenever I try to explain any aspect of Islam, any teaching of Islam, or any concept of Islam, Alhamdulillah, I felt that the person with whom I was speaking or talking fully agreed with me and understood it and appreciated very much that never thought about it or never heard this or never read anywhere, and this is something that makes sense, and this is something which I was looking. So I am personally a great believer of a friendly dialogue without kind of putting too much pressure and giving and creating this kind of impression that you are now bombarding the person every day with emails and every day with messages and every day now a set of books. So पंजे झाड़ के उसके पीछे पड़ गए कि भाई अब now I have to convert you and now I have to change you. No, that is dangerous. Then you lose the impact. So keep it casual, keep it kind of friendly, and in a very professional manner, and in a kind of on light notes. So with that introduction, so far we have discussed the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us. We concluded that discussion yesterday. After explaining the rights of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala upon us, now we need to begin talking about other rights. And there is a whole very detailed discussion about rights, but we will begin first with our own rights upon ourselves. That should be the beginning of this discussion. After Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, now we are talking about our own rights upon ourselves. And you know, it's a strange thing, but that is the reality, that we are always worried and concerned about everyone except ourselves. So we are so much caught up helping others, taking care of others, correcting others, helping others, that we forget ourselves. And there are sayings back home. I don't know if you know a saying of that nature in English, then tell me, it will be useful. Back home they had a saying that, you know, the tailor who sews the libas for everybody, his own libas or his own button most of the time is kind of like what you say, is loose or drop, and he doesn't have any time to fix his own sleeve or his own button because he is tailor. The carpenter, if you go at his home and you see, you can find so much small jobs at his own home.
Maybe that is.
And he never has. But I'm asking if you know the English equivalent of this kind of darbul masal, so then share with me or with the class. I'm sure there must be something in English also. In every language they have those sayings that the person that who is expert of something, and this is his job and he does for everybody, but he doesn't have time for himself. So
Doctor, heal thyself. Doctor, heal thyself.
doctor,
Heal thyself.
heal thyself, that is, yeah, it's closer, but still we need to search for some more things, and maybe the newer generation will have some idea about that. But the idea is, we are always concerned about correcting and changing others, and seeing others becoming that angels and perfect human beings. And when it comes to ourselves, we say, I know I have got some weaknesses and I have got some work, but I just need a little time. So whenever I will get a little time, I will fix myself. So that's not a big deal. But that's a project on hold. But the more important is that let me fix my wife first, or my husband, and or my mother-in-law, or my father-in-law, or my sister-in-law, or brother-in-law, or my neighbor, or my boss, or my other somebody at center or community. These people need to really read Quran, these people need to read du'as, these people need to know all this, they need to practice that. So everybody is he, she, and they. Myself, yes, I got some issues, but I know I have some issues. So I'm just waiting for enough time, and soon I will take care of that. So that is how we end up spending our whole life. It's just like mother, for example, in our Desi culture, is all just concerned about the children and the husband in good times. So, but normally when they become mothers, then the husbands are kind of not the priority anymore. While in my counselings, I tell them that the best way to help your children is still to take care of your husbands. And same is for I tell the husbands, if you want to see your wife becoming the best mother for your children, then you need to first focus on your wife and take care of your wife first. You cannot help your children bypassing your spouse. Because if the spouse is mad, so he cannot be a good father, or she cannot be a good mother. So in order to be a good father and a good mother, first they have to feel satisfied. They have to feel safe and secure. They have to feel respected. They have to feel that they are in control, and they are secure, and they are respected, and they are enjoying their life. And when they will have that feeling, then they will become a better husband and better wives and better mothers and better fathers. So it is counterproductive to bypass the husband and allocate all the time and energy and everything on children, or bypass the wife and then just spend all the time and energy and resources on, for example, your children. It's not going to work. We are seeing it every day. I have almost every day one counseling session, and most of the time it is because the husband is not satisfied, is not getting enough attention from the wife, feels that is being abandoned, or the wife feels she is being abandoned and she is not getting enough attention. So these are again things which are losing the balance. There is a balance which we need to maintain. Ourselves also are very important. If we don't take care of ourselves, then time comes when we cannot take care of anybody else. You need to maintain. Jaan hai to jahan hai. So first you need to take care of yourself. And then you can be a better husband and a better wife and a better father and a better mother. But again, culture is that no, I am okay, I will give up, I will give everything to others. That's too much. See, I will give you two examples. One is Quran, Surah Tahrim. Chapter Tahrim, Surah Tahrim, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu, qu anfusakum وَأَهْلِيكُمْ نَارًا. O those who believe, protect yourselves and your families from the hellfire. So see in what order, in what sequence Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying. Protect yourselves and your families. So first you have to protect yourself from the hellfire, and then you are able to now rescue with experience and help your family and save them and protect them from the hellfire. You have always this experience in when you sit in the airplane and they come and they give you a demonstration. Alaykum salam. So they give you a demonstration and tell you that in the case when there is no oxygen and the oxygen masks will fall down and you have to put the mask on your nose and your mouth and you have to breathe like this, and then they always tell you that if you have kids sitting with you, although you are parents and you are concerned about them, but first you need to put that mask on your own mouth and on your own nose, and then you have to help your children sitting next to you. So that is exactly according to that ayat of Quran of Surah Tahrim. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has taught us 1400 years ago that this is the right way. First you rescue yourself.
Subhanallah.
Then you rescue others. First you help yourself and then you help others. It is illogical that first help others and then at the end I will take care of myself. It doesn't work like that. So that is the introduction of today's discussion, that our own rights, we need to take care of ourselves properly. If we don't take care of ourselves, if we don't rescue ourselves, then we cannot take care of our families and our communities. And although Shi'i theology is a little different, but if you look at the lives of Anbiya, other than Hazrat Isa, every Nabi, he had first some time for himself. And he kind of worked with himself for a few decades. And after that, when he felt that now he has now done all that preparatory work in himself and in his surroundings, then he started calling others and then he started working with others. So that is a proper order. So this is called Haqqun Nafs. The topic of our discussion is Haqqun Nafs, the rights of our own selves. In Quran, the word Nafs is used 265 times. That explains that how much it is important. 265 times the word nafs as a singular or its plural, anfus, is used in different contexts. By the way, in Quran, sometimes the word nafs means al-insan, the full insan. Nafs meaning the total one individual. That is nafs. Like kullu nafsin dha'iqatul maut. So here nafs means the whole insan. Sometimes nafs is used for the heart of insan or the mind and brain of insan or the soul and the spirit of insan. So ruh and nafs, these are different aspects of the same entity. Sometimes it is referred as ruh and sometimes it is referred as nafs. And it is ruh, it's nafs, it is qalb, it is aql. These are all different words, but referring basically to the same entity. And that is the inner selves, our inner self. We are made up from two things, our physical body and then our nafs or our ruh, whatever we want to call it. So we are compound of two things. We have a body, jism, badan, and then we have ruh or we have nafs. Both are amanat given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are not our own property. Both are trust of Allah and gift of Allah. And we are responsible for maintaining them properly. We are responsible for maintaining them properly and taking care of them. Now, maintaining our body will become a duty and responsibility and ibadat. When you will wash it, now you are taking a bath, for example, or shower, but you are doing also ibadat. If you do with this niyat that this is Allah's amanat and I have to take care of it and I have to maintain it, I have to really keep it in a good condition. So it becomes ibadat, even taking a shower. So I'm not taking a shower just because everybody else also takes shower. No, I'm doing it because it is amanat of Allah. Allah has given me this amanat and I have to maintain it. I have to take care of it. I have to clean it, I have to wash it, I have to keep it in a best possible condition. So, maintaining them and then using them properly as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has directed. Using my body and using my aql, my brain, my heart, my ruh, my nafs, my all that is as Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has asked me to use them. So I have this duty. In order to do that, what we are told in ilm akhlaq, the major needs of body, for example, is food. Now, eating the food is mubah, but sometime it will become wajib. If you don't eat and now you are feeling that it is going to damage your health, it is going to damage your body, if you don't eat, at that time eating will become wajib, mandatory. And not eating will become at that time haram because now you are damaging your body, which you are not supposed to. So, food, then it is libas, the clothing, a place where to live, the housing. Then our modern ulama or the ulama of our time, they have